Okay, hello, hello, hello. I think this is working. Took a little while, so we're going to be joining mid-quali, but hopefully we didn't miss too much. Alright, so it's a wet one. We're in Miami. It's round 12, season 14. So we're just over 5 minutes into qualifying as it stands. About half the grid has gone out to set a lap so far. We got Gourd Sauce, first place, T Stiggy, Nico. Just getting used to the controls here. Alright, so ones to watch. I think the person with the highest average qualifying that's attending is T Sticky. And then I think it's Gourd Sauce after that. So definitely favorites. Toneless, second in the championship. Good shout for pole. Airborne Tiger has been quick. I think he's on a streak of podiums as it stands. Just looking to see who's on the lap right now. It's kind of hard to tell. I believe Rusty is either starting or finishing a lap here. Looks like he finished. He improves to a 140.7. Decent chunk. Tor's getting out of the way there. Viper getting to the end of his lap, as is the Red Bull of Gibby's 13. I'm not sure if this is his debut, but if it is, welcome. I think he was there for Hungary last week. We might have to fact check it. He pops up to P3, so great improvement there. 1 second there. Viper up to P4. Qualifying, probably not his strong suit this season, so it's a good result so far. The track is probably drying. Spot up triples goes to 12th. Kobe plays a little wobbly here. Wow. Drifting around this very tight and a little bit weird section of this track, to be honest. Not my favorite. Gourd Sauce, looks like he's on an in-lap, or he just finished. Oh, he's invalidated. Unfortunate there. Nico, not improving, also invalidated. Hoop up massive half a second just through the first sector, which is, I believe, where a majority of the corners in this track are. Turns 1 through 8. So about half. There's 17 corners. Big lockup, but he manages to get it stopped. Nicely hit the apex. Very calm and tidy. I believe he was on pole in season 13, so he's definitely one to watch too. He's been out for a while commentating, so we've directly swapped places. He is driving my car. Purple middle sector, running the chrome livery, keeping it tight to the right side. His teammate Airborne Tiger is up nearly 2 seconds, going to come across the line here. And he goes to the top at 36.9. Great lap. See what Hoops got up a second. He moves up to 6. So McLaren moving up. They're looking to make a constructor's charge here. I don't believe McLaren or anyone but Mercedes has won a midweek constructors championship. Oh wait, sorry, Williams won last season. But McLaren probably not. Oh, Kobe plays. It looked like he was struggling before, and he spun. Stays well out of the way of the Williams there. I think that might be Viper. No, it's Andy Wu. And I'm guessing he's going to come in here, yeah. Put on some new tires. Hopefully he can get a lap done. Oh! So, Toneless Death out on an out lap for his first lap, or push lap. Apologies, I have no idea how to work the controls. Ace Edge looks like he's going to finish the lap here. Vibrant green visor on his car, and he improves up to 7th. The other Alpine coming across the line here to start a lap, I believe. Watching out for Gourd Sauce coming out of the pit lane there. Keeping on the curb. It's very dangerous to run the curb here. It can gain you a ton of lap time by straightening out your exit, but it can throw the car off completely. This is... don't think this is a push lap. Loop coming in. Aston Martin here starting a lap. The track seems like it's drying out quite a bit and very quickly. Toneless jumps up to 8th, so he finally got a lap on the board. Andy Wu goes to 1st. Great lap. 8/10 ahead of P2 here. Or 7/10, I can't count. So pretty big gaps at the moment, but I think a lot of that is down to track evolution. So I think most people, without a mistake, will probably do their best lap towards the end of the session. Sticky here, finishing out his lap. He goes to 2nd, just 3/10 behind. I think Ace here is starting a lap. A little deep in turn 1. Cranks the steering to correct it a little. Well controlled, stable through the S's there. His teammate gets well out of the way before the other S's. Ooh, very slidey through there. It's tricky, especially on the low downforce setup that this track pretty much requires. Three tenths up though. Gourd Sauce, 8/10 up through the first sector, purple first sector. He is still looking for his first midweek podium of the season. He just came off I believe, 2nd place in Tier 1, so building some good forward momentum here. He was strong in Miami in the Tier 1 race. I believe he was 4th or 5th. So definitely one, probably in the top, well definitely in the top 5 I would say. Gets it turned in nicely to the 2nd apex. And a little wobbly on the power, but it shouldn't hurt him too much. He's 1.4 seconds up, I think, on another purple sector. So if he improves about another 10th in the final corner, he should be right up at the top. Ace coming through the final corner. Big slide. He's 1.3 seconds up though. Just out of battery. Crosses the line. He goes P3 to make it an Alpine 2nd and 3rd. Gourd Sauce jumps up to the top. A 35.7. First man to crack into the 35s, and he's on provisional pole. Vinny up a 2nd here. He's looking for some qualifying form this season after a nearly Constructors winning season last time, or on F1 24. Attendance, not really Kick's strong suit. I drive for them in Tier 1, and I barely show up to races, so looks like he's backed out of his lap there. That's an out lap. He actually still improves by 1.2 seconds. Sorry, Vinny. Kobe plays here, trying to set a banker lap, at least get a time on the board. Huge lockup once again. He manages not to spin out this time. Good power delivery. Traction control kicking in a little. Keep it tight to the inside wall here. He's going to go P4. Good lap. And Alpine trying to burn off some fuel there. Looks like Gord Sauce is on an in lap. I think we're still yet to see the best from Airborne Tiger and Nico. Both of them, I think, top 5 results in both the races they've done. Or maybe Nico's done 3. It's hard to lose count. Andy Wu yet to respond to Gord Sauce. I'm guessing Gord will have... Oh, he doesn't have time to come back in, so he's going on the same set of tires from his previous lap, but it is a lot drier. Pretty safe on track limits through the S's here. Just trying to complete the lap. Little lockup, but he gets it at the apex perfectly. Ooh, little wobble on the exit, but he is still 2/10 up, so it's a decent improvement. Oh, Nico got up to P2, just as I said. Big improvement. I don't think he will be able to go again, though. Gord Sauce well under control through this twisty, terrible section of track. Through the tricky, ooh, little slide. That's going to cost him a lot, and slides on the exit too. And then tiny bit deep. He's still a 10th up, but he's dropped a 10th through the middle sector to his personal best lap. Toneless and Ace of checkered flag. Big slide. See if he can increase his gap to P2. And he can, a 35.4. So that is the benchmark they've got to try and respond to. First up is spot up triples here. Good 7/10 up, that'll move him up at least to around 10th. There's a big traffic jam in the middle sector in the chicane bits. Spot up goes up to 10th. Good improvement. Airborne Tiger up 1.2 seconds, so he's looking for another couple tenths if he's going to manage pole. Lots of bottoming down the straight for the McLaren with his bright neon helmet in McLaren fashion. Great through the last corner. Little wobbly through there. Keep it tight. What does he have? He's got pole. 33 or 35.3. Just barely took it. Hoop goes up to 9th. Vinny is next to cross the line, and he does not improve. Ferrari came into the pits, and so does the other one. I believe that is Ghost Viper coming across the line. He moves up to 8th. T. Stiggy up to 2nd, just 5 thousandths off of pole. So he's going to be disappointed to miss out there. Andy Wu up to 5th. And JD is the final one to cross the line, and he stays 14th. So that's it for qualifying. That was a lot to keep up with. So McLaren on pole, followed by T. Stiggy in the Alpine. Improving his average qualifying there, so he is about where expected. Gord Sauce looking to get his first podium of the season. He's got great track position for that. Gibby in his second race, I believe. Great to line up P4. Andy, who has done a fair few races now. He had an amazing overtake in Monaco around the outside of the hairpin, so definitely one to watch. The gap turned to 6 thousandths. That's interesting. Okay, so Airborne Tiger, T. Stiggy, Gord Sauce, Gibbies, Andy Wu, Nico, Kobe, Viper, Ace Edge, Hoop, Rusty, Spot of Triples, Toneless, JD, Tors, Vinny Clips, Sips, and Pixel Knight are our grid. Very tight at the top, as is pretty common with midweek. A lot of reserves in the top 5, which is interesting. I wonder if they will try and convert to full-time seats. It's pretty competitive at the moment. I believe there's like 10 reserves, and then there's, I think, full-time seats is full. But I imagine at the end of the season, which is in 2 races after this, some of those will open up for them. It'd be great to see. There's a lot of really good reserves. I am... oh, God. I'm in a car. This is, shockingly not the first time this has happened. So, I think I'm just supposed to pull into the pits. I don't think I can commentate and drive, unfortunately. So strategy, it's gonna rain at the start. I believe it'll dry up around lap 10, somewhere around that ballpark, and then probably medium hard. It's hard to tell. The wear is really high here, and I struggled a lot with overheating in Tier 1. So those are things to watch out for, especially guys that run more qualifying-centric setups. And higher downforce usually does that too. So that should be interesting strategy-wise, especially with when do you pit? Last time out in Hungary, we had a rain crossover nightmare, and about 5 people pitted when it looked dry, and the game decided it wasn't dry physics-wise. So that was really interesting. So that is a possibility. My only worry here is if I can actually manage to complete a lap in the rain on controller. Alright, so the hosts have said we're ready to go. I'm assuming everyone's going to start on inters. It says it's going to be cloudy. Alright, so that's interesting. Even though it's definitely wet. It's definitely not full wets. The full wets are entirely useless anyway. So I'm just going to try and live... just ignore that. Yeah, seems like everybody's okay. Seems like everybody's gonna start on the inters. Based on the weather forecast, I assume it would actually dry out maybe before lap 10. Just because of the cloudy prediction there. Everybody should close their eyes and ignore this driving because it's going to be really bad. If there's any like small children nearby, make sure to I don't know, move them to a different room because this might frighten them. Pixel Knight seemingly doing the Sunny Haze strat, letting us all get our tires cold. I'm not actually sure what happens if he doesn't go, but it seems like we might find out. Okay. Slightly mischiefs the party now. Alright, so this is going to be terrible start commentary. I'm just going to have to guess what's happening. So, lights out. Tentative start for everybody, obviously. Being wet. Looks like good start for JD. He's going to go down the inside. A little bit of contact there, but it seems like it all panned out. Okay. Looks like Everyone Tiger is still leading the pack from T-Stiggy. A little bit of a gap playing guards. Also looks like he's being contested by, I believe it's Gibby in the red one. Lenny and Pixel Knight back here, just staying out of trouble. I understeered off the track. Everyone Tiger already starting to pull away a little bit, maybe about close to a second gap there. The top four are definitely pulled away from Aston Martin. It's very clustered in the 11th to 8th range there. Great overtaking opportunity down in here, so you'll likely see a bunch of that, as you see with spot up triples and tours up there. Pretty much impossible to go side by side unless you want to lose your entire wheel through this section. Seems like T-Stiggy is caught back up to the back end behind a little bit. But yeah, there's just a bit of a concertina into the final corner. Okay, I don't actually know how retiring the pits works, but I'm assuming I just do that. Okay, you can open your eyes now and I'm driving. Okay, so Everyone Tiger in the lead. We get a terrible close-up shot of the poorly rendered face. T-Stiggy close behind him, about the same back to course sauce. Gibby and Andy Wu a little bit by themselves as it stands. No movement in the top 9 actually, that's interesting. So the biggest mover on lap 1 was Toma's Death, he's up 2 from 13th. Rusty also moving up 1, Hoop down 2, JD and Tor's up 1, Spot up down 3, so he's the biggest loser. Pixel Knight and Vinny swapping places at the start. Yellow Fly, oh that's my car. So just about half a second between the top, each of the top 3. Important to get a good exit out of that corner because this straight just goes on and on and on. And it's probably the best overtaking opportunity we saw from turn 11 on the track. Tight corner, so long braking zone, braking just after the 100 meter, or just before the 100 meter board, sorry. Nothing doing there. Looking further back, Nico just behind Andy. Kobe on their tails. Gourd Sauce is the fastest lap, so he is reining them in. T-Stiggy, not quite close enough through turn 1. Ace maybe looking for a move on the Williams here. He's going to pull to the inside. Leave each other room. Big slide. And he gets pushed off. Looks like Viper's going to concede the place to him though. Or not. And that's about that. Toneless, moving the move up. Trying not to lose second in the championship to his teammate. They had a good 50-point or so gap before about 2 races ago, and then now it's coming down and very quickly. Stiggy just staring at the lane light of the McLaren. Gortzas falling back a little bit on this lap. Huge lockup, but somehow manages to make the corner. Ace still behind Ghost Viper on the Williams. Seem to be stuck for a few more laps, or a few more corners at least. Rusty watching in, and this group here from 8th down is very close. Seemingly Ghost Fighter being the cork in the bottle here. Oh wow, opportunistic from JD. Luke leaves him perfect space. And he gets a great exit, even though he had the tighter line. That was actually a very good move. Vinny and Pixelite. So, Airborne Tiger, 4 laps led now. T-Stiggy just having to stare at the back of the McLaren. Gortzas, hoping probably for an incident between the two. He hasn't won a midweek race since season 12, so it's been a good 20 or so races, so he's very hungry. Ace Edge finally got past Ghost Viper, zooming into turn 1. Viper, the biggest gainer, or Captain Sunday, as proclaimed. He averages over 5 places gained from his qualifying, which is very impressive. Bad exit from Ace Edge, but he manages to keep it under control. No penalties yet, thankfully. Kind of hard to get track limits on Miami, aside from, I believe it's turn 5. So penalties probably not playing a huge role today, but it is definitely not impossible. Gortzas still sitting behind, running on the blue line. I believe it's less friction, so it is technically quicker to run on the blue line, but I think engine temps will likely play a big role in overtaking here. Airborne Tiger sets the fastest lap, so he took a few laps to get settled in with T-Stiggy behind him, but it seems like a little bit of that pressure has come off. Thomas still sitting behind Rusty. The track is drying quite quickly, and as I said that Airborne Tiger was getting comfortable, he has dropped a few tenths, but then gained a little bit of it back through the S's. Dirty Air, fairly strong, but not, it's probably on the lower spectrum of the tracks for the strength of Dirty Air. Still no movement between the top 3. Viper keeping tight with Ace Edge. Actually, purple sector for him there, I believe. Thomas definitely looking for a move here. Definitely stuck behind Rusty. Still just not quite close enough into all the heavy braking zones, which is kind of a theme in Miami. Hoop close behind JD after that nice move from JD to pass him back on lap 2, I believe. It's very dry on the track. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some pitters this lap. Another fastest lap for Airborne Tiger. He was almost out of DRS threat for when it comes online, but I think we're still about 2 or 3 laps out from that. No one gambling for the slicks yet. I'm guessing many are still scarred from Hungary last week, which hit quite a few people. I think there was maybe 2 or 3 people that got trapped a lap down because of that. Thomas going up the inside here, opportunistic into this corner. Can't quite make it. Rusty's going to get that exit through the wider line. And he's going to have to wait probably another lap behind the Ferrari. Sliding around a lot, the Inters are likely beginning to overheat at this stage. Viper all over the back of Ace. He just made a huge gain. Oh, and Nico has virtual safety car. Yep, bended on the wall. Very easy to do. The apex is literally in the wall. Very Monaco-esque. So after a good run of, I believe, top 5 finishes, Nico's race is going to end on lap 6. Unfortunate for him. Ferrari in need of some points. So that takes a bit of the gamble out of us. I think everyone, well, I was going to say, I think everyone's going to pit, but no. Gortsas takes the gamble. I wouldn't really think of it as a gamble, but, you know, they have the information from the engineers. Gibby stays out. Andy's coming in. I don't know why I can't see who's pitting. There we go. Kobe's coming in. Ace is coming in. Viper. Rusty. Toneless stays out. JD stays out. Hoop stays out. So it's about 50-50 split. Viper here is going to take the hards. So interesting difference in strategy here. I thought maybe taking the slicks here was the obvious choice, but I don't know. I don't really have a butt. Oh, that's unfortunate for Viper. Just goes slightly over the delta, picks up a drive through. I believe Ace Edge also just did the same thing, which is unfortunate. Let's see what Gortsas has on his hards. They'll be hard to warm up in the current conditions. But they are the CD3s, I believe, so they are the softest hard tire that exists. Ooh, it's not ready for slicks, is it? So, repeat of Hungary, same victim being Gortsas. Just not quite ready for the slicks, even though it's deceptively dry. Arbon Tiger extended his lead by a good 3 or 4 tenths following the virtual safety car. Interesting. Very weird. Yeah, Hoop here is going to go past Andy Blue, who was fighting for a top 5 and now is sinking back. But he has made a pit stop, trying to desperately warm up his tires. So he's still, I mean, Gortsas is still technically the net race leader by a good 10 or so seconds. Careful on the checkpoints there. But he is losing time as it stands. T-Stiggy great through the first couple of corners, as it seems to be most of the time. Seems like Ace is coming in to serve his drive-thru, and Pixel Link likely taking the slicks. Hitting staying out. So he's better with Pixel Link. Difference of strategy there. Gortsas, a little bit less time lost to Toneless this lap, so he's only lost about half a second, which, oh, he just drove into the wall. Hopefully no damage picked up from that. Front wing looks okay. That caught me off guard. The gap between him and Toneless seemed to be stabilizing, but he just got a huge snap. Lost 3 tenths there. I don't think it's ready for the slicks, but it was a virtual safety car, so he's still technically the net race leader. Because you gain about 10 seconds in a virtual safety car, if I was spitballing a random number. Tor's right behind his teammate, Kobe Place. He was very excited for this race. He improved a lot in time trial. So looking for a good result for Aston Martin while his teammate is out. Viper still having a drive-through, so he's going to have to serve that. He needs a safety car to recover, along with Ace Edge also. So unfortunate luck for them. The Delta is way too strict on this game. Hoop comes in, so he's deciding now is the time. He's putting on wets. Okay. Torres comes in to put on some hards, and Spotted Triples also putting on the hards. So warm-up is going to be difficult for them. Coming straight out of the box. See if he can stay ahead of Ace Edge here. And they do, both of them, so that's unfortunate for Ace. Wait, am I crazy? Okay. So Ghost Viper probably going to have to serve his drive-through this lap because I believe it's a 3-lap time limit. So he's going to face disqualification if he doesn't get in soon. Hoop on the full wets is not actually losing as much time as I thought, but still dropping back a little. So he's probably going to have to make another pit stop very soon. Interesting gamble there. I think as soon as Gord sets the fastest lap here, everybody's going to come in, especially the top 3. The gap is stabilizing between him and Toneless about a second. It was bouncing between 9/10 and now it's going up to 1.2, so maybe the hards are finally ready. I think I've said that about 4 times, but yeah, that looks much better through the first sector, or the first couple corners, and we gained about 2-3 there, so it seems like the slicks are ready. Viper's coming in to serve his drive-through penalty, unfortunate. Hoop's coming in to take off the wets. I think he just fat-fingered the wets instead of the hards. Unlucky there. Airborne Tiger just doing enough to keep outside of what will be DRS range once the DRS comes on, which I would be expecting any moment now. Usually is a great signifier of when the... Oh, we have the yellow flag. I believe it is an Alpine. It seems to settle itself. The DRS being... I think I missed it. There's another brief yellow flag, so lots of people struggling in the damp but also dry conditions, and then it goes vice versa for the inters also because they start to overheat, so it gets even trickier for them. Gibby's with the fastest lap, so he is trying to catch up to leaders and I'm assuming get a maiden podium here. T Stiggy, not sure if he's been on the podium either. I believe he might have. So Gordsaw still a little slower than the leaders that lap, but it seems much more under control. JD's decided this is the lap to blink and come in for the slicks. Mediums for JD. Vinny getting passed by Tours, or just a look to the inside. Yep, the slick's totally in control now. Vinny's gonna come in. It was a good 2-3 laps that they were better though. Gordsaw's gaining heavily now. We got an Aston Martin spot. It's Kobe. He's ghosted, and he had a lot of clean air around him, so nobody is at the mercy of a rejoin there. So now would be the lap to come in for the leaders. Let's see if they do. Airborne Tiger just outside of DRS range of T Stiggy. I'm assuming that will be on any moment now, unless I already missed it. Ace picks up a 3-second time penalty to compound his misery. T-Stiggy actually stays out this lap. Interesting. Gibby's comes in. Gortsas will be, I think, maybe 5 or 6 seconds ahead of them. Ooh, big slide at the last corner. DRS is now enabled, so anyone within 1 second gets to open their rear wing. Towards resetting the track there. I think that's a big no-no, but spin through that section. I think it's fair to reset the track there. I mean, it's super tight. Somebody's just going to T-bone you. Gortsas ahead of Airborne Tiger. So the gamble did work out, but he will have slightly higher tire wear. And with DRS, it seems like Airborne Tiger is just going to pounce immediately. Kobe gets a 10-second penalty when he comes into the pits. Airborne Tiger all over the back. Kobe put it to softs. Interesting. Definitely some interesting strategies going on today. Yeah. Airborne Tiger already ahead of Gortsas before the DRS detection, and he'll fly by him. Switch the battery to none and recharge. See if Gortsas can respond going into the next DRS zone. So that is the battle for the net race lead. Gibby's just hovering about 3-4 seconds back as he was before. Took a good, almost a second out of Gord there. Gord all over the place. It's not really going his way right now. He did just barely snatch DRS, so he might be able to hang on to the coattails of Airborne Tiger here. Ghost Viper staying out those extra couple laps with his drive-through seems to actually benefited him because he is way ahead of Ace. So, well played there. The leader, T-Stiggy, is coming in for some fresh hards. So Airborne Tiger will take the lead here. Gortsas did get DRS. That's the fastest lap, actually. And hopefully we'll be able to stick with Airborne Tiger here. So T-Stiggy not too far behind, actually. Just about 4/10, but he will take a little bit to warm up. Gortsas, big slide through the first corner, so he's going to lose out on DRS unless he can have an insane first sector. But based on the look of that wobble, it's not going to happen. So T-Stiggy might be the next one up on overtaking him so he can continue his battle for the lead. Ace here looking to get past Horse. DRS zone. Pulling to the inside of turn 1. He's got a compound advantage. And he's through. He goes super deep though. Wow, Horse switchback, and he's ahead. Great move. Vinny sits the fastest lap. And Kobe will actually be looking to pounce on Ace here with the soft tires. I'm not sure how the strategy game was going to work out for him, but it does seem to be giving him loads of pace as it stands. T-Stiggy going to overtake Gord here. Unfortunate for Gord, hopefully he can hold on to the podium, but it did not seem like hitting for the slicks that early has worked out for him for the second week running. Oh, contact. It seems like he got into the back of T-Stiggy there. I did notice he went deep, but wow. So, not a great couple laps for Gortsas. Gibby will be looking at that and getting ready to overtake them. It said he said all purple sectors, but I believe that... How do I say this? Oh, he did say fastest lap. Okay, I'm just blind. So, he is on much fresher tires than Gord, but slightly older than T-Stiggy, so it'll be hard to overtake him. And I think Gord may have just picked up DRS there, which is unfortunate for Gibby, who is likely trying to get past as quick as possible so that he can maybe progress as further up in the field as he can. So, outside line. Nico is left. I think we lost an Alpine. Yep, Ace is coming in. Maybe to retire based on speed he was going. Yep, unfortunate. Whoa, Airborne Tiger. Wow, that was crazy time to catch him. Big slide. Easy to do through there. The rear gets really light when you go through the change of direction. Gibby past Gortsas, broken DRS, and he's reeling in T-Stiggy here. T-Stiggy with his battery on none, preparing for a fight. Wow. power sliding. He's lost DRS, I believe. Might invite Gord back in. I don't believe it did. Oh, he did get DRS. I have no idea where the detection point is. Pretty big gaps in the field, except for at the front. Right here we've got a little 3-car battle. Kobe likely hoping for some papaya rules here, or I guess British Racing green rules, to get through on his nicer tires while he has them. The C5s will not last long on Miami. Penalty Gord Sauce picked up a 3-second penalty, so it's just not his day or season in midweek. Looking to make a little inroads on McLaren, the constructors, is Mercedes, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen today with Airborne Tiger up at the top. Ooh, very close to the wall, Gibby. Pushing as basically as hard as you can without DNFing yourself like Nico did earlier in the race. Kobe finally gets past his teammate, looking to get past Hoop and see what he can do on the soft tires. I don't think anyone can go to the end, so soft tires, not the worst choice here. Airborne Tiger, after that big slide last lap, just, well, I was going to say increases the lead, but he's lost about 6/10 through the last corner, so slow corners into power zones. Not Airborne Tiger's strong suit at the moment, but it seems like he's doing enough to just maintain about 2 seconds. Ooh, Gibby into the wall. Big snap of oversteer, just a little bit too eager on the throttle. It's unfortunate. So that kind of broke up the only fight we have. I promised Ghost I would give him some screen time, so here he is. Through the final corner. He's got a good gap both ways. Even with the drive-through, he's only 1 place down from where he started, so not bad. He did put in a lot of practice for this, so it's unfortunate to see that happen. Especially something that's honestly almost out of your control since he was coming out of the pits. The penalty, probably not going to harm Gord Sauce too much unless Andy starts gaining a lot. About 5 seconds, which is doable in 13 laps, but it would be difficult. Giddy just hovering about 1.2 seconds. Airborne Tiger struggling through the traction zones once again. That's the word I was looking for, power zones. T-Steve with the fastest lap, so he's really putting on the pressure here to the McLaren driver. Gord Sauce coming into the pits, early stop, but he has already done 10 laps on his tires. For the mediums, interestingly, so he's going to have to manage a lot if he wants to make it to the end of the race. He comes out in a nice chunk of clean air right behind his teammate and good 4 or 5 seconds ahead of JD. The gap to the leader a little bit more stabilized this lap, but definitely a larger cotton candy colored Alpine appearing in Airborne Tiger's mirror. Gibby also there, just waiting to pounce if anything happens to either of them. Seems like Kobe has lost the performance in his soft tires. He is dropping back a bit, and he goes super wide right there. Wow. Torres comes into the pits for a set of mediums. 12 laps left. It'll be a stretch, but they should make it if you're careful. T-Stig, another fastest lap. Immediately responded by Gibby. So T-Stig almost in DRS range. He does have a 1 lap tire advantage, so he will hit the fall off. Maybe a lap or 2 after, depending on how they treat their tires. huge corner cut, but he seemingly gets away with it with only a warning. Gibby lost a lot of time through there, unexpectedly. But he's well within the DRS range and closing. Airborne Tiger shuts off his battery, so he will gain a lot on the straight. TC kind of low on battery. Big wobble into the braking zone and huge corner cut. Yep. 3-second time penalty for TC, which is taking a little bit of the excitement out of the lead battle here. But with his current pace, I mean, if he can get past him quickly, I don't know who's saying he's not going to pull 3 seconds. All over the back of the McLaren already. Just going to drive right by him. No real defense from the McLaren driver. Tucks right back in. TC shuts off his battery. And that's about that. Pixel Knight retires in the pit lane, as does Tours, I believe, or Kobe. Yeah. So we've lost a lot of drivers. T-Stiggy, another fastest lap. DRS aided there. Watch out for the DNF car. I believe it should be ghosted. I'm not actually sure how it works. Andy Wu likely wondering where everybody went to. Along with JD here. Gord Sauce with the fastest lap on those fresh mediums. His teammate, he just went by him. So he caught him fairly quickly. I'm not sure exactly what the gap was, but I think it was about 3 or 4 seconds. So he caught that in 4 laps maybe? Or 2 laps, I can't read. Airborne Tiger, right back past T-Stiggy. If he wants to win this race, that's basically all he's got to do with T-Stiggy's penalty. Just try and make sure he can't pull away. Very smooth on his inputs here, so probably not one that's going to be in tire trouble. T-Stiggy, on the other hand, lost a ton of time there, and is now actually under threat from Gibbies, so the momentum here is changing very quickly. Wow, huge drift for Airborne Tiger. Again, wow. Okay, so he's going to lose the lead here. He might even lose 2 spots without the aid of DRS. But it doesn't seem like Gibby's close enough. Ghost Viper came into the pits for another set of hards. I think hard, or enter hard is the preferred strategy with the insane tire wear here. Which is weird to say because there's like 10 corners, but it's pretty intense with the softer compounds. So Gibby smelling a little blood here. All he needs to do is overtake Airborne Tiger, and if he can keep himself wedged between the Alpine and the McLaren, he could win. They do need to be wary of the undercut that Gord Sauce is getting here, if he can hang on to his tires towards the end. Gord Sauce with the fastest lap a few laps ago. I think he had, ooh, careful. I think he had DRS off of his teammate, but he was evidently closing in on the leaders quietly. About 18 or 19 seconds back. What am I trying to say? The second and third place drivers both opting to recharge their batteries down the back straight, which seems to be the best place to do it. Gibby's not with a great exit there, but just hangs on to DRS. As long as he can have a on par middle sector here, he should be alright. Great camera angle. Gord Sauce catching up to Andy, who, oh wow, little drift there, just for the fans. Andy who pitted during that weird crossover phase that wasn't actually crossover, even though it looked dry. still on that same set of parts, so they will be hurting quite badly, and it's evident with his drift there. There's also a little drift to compare, and he's going to have DRS here, which he should be able to fly by, unless he chooses to wait for the back straight, but it doesn't look like he's going to. Down the inside, gets it stopped. Easily done with the tire advantage. Down the back straight, second and third place drivers still opting to recharge their battery. Maybe having a little look to the inside, but nothing there. No real urgency for Airborne Tiger other than staying ahead of Gibby's, especially with the penalty. He is close though going down the straight, so he may try and take the place anyways. Just a little look to the inside. Airborne Tiger with a 3 second, so that puts Gibby's in the hot seat now. So the third place driver on track is actually the net leader at the moment, other than Gortzlass, but he also has a penalty. So if Gibby's can stay in between the white lines, he's actually looking pretty good for a maiden victory here. A little slide, but as long as he stays within touch of these two, it doesn't matter. JD just came in. He's all by himself. 27 seconds to Toneless, but Toneless will likely have to make another stop, as well as Andy. So if he can get it 4 more seconds, then maybe he could be in touch. I'm not sure what the pit delta is. Probably should have researched that. Gibby's all over the back. He seems to be great for this turn 13, 14, and 15 section. Loses a little on the exit, naturally. But Airborne Tiger has dropped out of the DRS range of T-Sticky, so he's going to have to get back past him if he wants to stay in touch. Late braking, manages to get it done. It's going to be tight with the DRS detection, but I think he may have just missed out. Let's see. Yeah, he doesn't get DRS, and Airborne Tiger does, so he will be... No, he chooses to recharge the battery. So Gibby's without the dirty air. Hopefully, for his sake, we'll be able to gain a couple tenths here, but it doesn't seem that way out of turn 1 and 2. A little bit of change in the back. Ghost Viper getting past Hoop on his brand new hards. Toneless out of Andy as he comes into the pits. I believe he'll put on another set of mediums just to keep it safe. I think the softs could do it to the end, but I don't think that would be a great choice after about 3 laps. Gibby's just outside of DRS down the middle straight. Recharging his battery for an attack. They may not have to pit again. I may be just terrible on my tires in tier 1. Who knows? It looks like he's going to pick up DRS here if he can get a decent exit, and he does. So he's back within touching distance of the race victory. Secured himself some insurance with the DRS, so he should be able to close back up. Running 7th gear out there. Hoop. Relatively sticking with the Williams. Doesn't quite pick up the benefit of DRS just to save himself a couple tenths. Torres has spun out. Looks like he's lost a bit of his wing, maybe? Yeah, the right side of his wing severely damaged. He's probably going to have to come in to fix that. Gibby's maybe a little tentative through the yellow flag. Lost a little bit. May be able to claw back DRS. He goes a little wide onto the paint, and that's going to cost him. Vinny playing the long game here. Just being the last man standing. Most of the people that were driving around him have put it in the wall, so well done. Spot up has gained quite a few places. Yeah, he's up 4 from the start. JD is up 7. Toneless is up 8. guys will start to struggle on their tires, but I have no idea. Big slide. Rear locking seeming to plague Gibby here a little. He still gets DRS. Big wobble when he opens it, interestingly. Airborne Tiger started on pole. He's fallen out of contention here. Just seemingly the tire is getting the better of him. Gibby's just doing enough to ensure that he stays within that 3 seconds of the penalties. Driving conservatively to make sure he doesn't go over the white lines. I say that. Beautiful power slide. Viper for his next victim. Spot up triples on the old tires. To make it back where he started in P8. Is he going to go for it? Not quite. A little look to the inside to maybe throw him off. Gets a better exit. DRS open, around the outside. Into turn 1. Should be clear. And he is. So, good recovery from a drive-through penalty. Gibby's battery off, as is tradition. We've lost a Mercedes toneless. Well, we haven't lost it, but he spun. On his super old tires, he's going to be under threat from Andy. Maybe towards the final laps. Andy not leaving much room for error there on the wall. Airborne Tiger is coming in, so to make his misery even worse, he's going from 3rd to probably somewhere in between Gord and Toneless. Gord may yet still finish on the podium here. Should be great, considering the timing of his first pit stop. Airborne Tiger only 4 seconds back with brand new softs compared to probably fairly worn mediums at this point. He's already taken 6/10 out, so that chance of the podium probably fairly slim for Gord Sauce, unless he can defend like Fernando Alonso. Rusty here, looking at the back of the McLaren. He's got very fresh mediums compared to ancient hards. A little wide through the first corners, and he's going to lose the DRS advantage for the time being. Jeez, he needs to be careful with that. Gibby's just hovering around that 1 second margin, which is all he needs to do to win. Ooh, big slide. Definitely be wary of the possibility of a removal of a penalty. So I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to win it on track here, but I respect playing the safer game. That's what I do. So Toneless is finally having to come in, probably on the verge of punctures by the looks of his tires. So he's going to lose out on just 1 place here, opting for the softs, because why not? Maybe grab the fastest lap. I believe it's worth 2 points, so pretty good chunk. Podium dreams slipping away from Gord Sauce a little, unless the front 2 have to pit. Airborne Tiger retakes his 3rd place. Didn't take him very long in the fresh softs. I missed it, but Rusty got past Hoop. Little look into turn 1 from Hoop to see if he could snatch it back, but not much of a chance on those tires. So the penultimate lap here. T-Stiggy leading, 3-second penalty. Looking at the penalties here, just a couple people 3 seconds. Like I said earlier, it's fairly difficult to actually pick up a penalty here, except for through the first sector, which is actually very easy through this corner here, turn 5 and turn 6. Easy to go wide there. I did a little drift there in the tier 1 race. Do not touch the blue paint, and Gibby does that nicely. Hoop keeping up with Rusty fairly well, considering his tires he's had on since about lap 10. So for the second last time, we're going on to the back straight. See if Gibby's recharges his battery. Looks like he's going to. Just play it safe. You got the penalty. Or he's got the penalty. There's no point in risking anything. Or is there? Gaining on the overtake button. He's going to go down the inside. Moves right back in front to open the corner up. And he's done it perfectly. T-Stiggy. Very good exit though. He's going to have DRS. Maybe try and take it back. Doesn't seem like he can. He's going to flip off the battery. Hoop's still keeping up with Rusty. Maybe he can have a last-ditch effort to retake his B10, P9. Lots of code for T-Sticky, but he manages to hold it. He's trying to save as much battery as he can for the final battle. T-Sticky running low. He's going to burn it here, though. Can go for it early instead of opting for the back straight. He's just going to fly by him as Gibby turns off his battery. Maybe aiming to fight back on the final straight. Oh! Nearly runs into the back of T-Stiggy. He's got to manage to stay within 3 seconds. As long as he doesn't have another big mistake, he will. Torres is spun again, unfortunately. Not a great day from him, but it is what it is. Sometimes that's how it goes. What? Oh my god, I missed it. The most important part of the race. Gibby's a spun, so, wow. So T-Stiggy is going to win his first ever PRL midweek race. Really good drive. Looked scary there with the penalty, but he manages to keep calm, hold it through, and he wins. Gibby's... oh, he got a puncture. So, T-Stiggy, very great on managing his tires. Gibby's is just going to hold on for P2. Airborne Tiger gets P3. Gortsauce, without that bad timing, could have had a podium. He manages to squeak in P4. Andy Wu, P5. Great result. Also unfortunate timing with the pit cycle. Toneless, solid recovery to P6. I believe he's up 4 or 5 places. JD, lonely race for him, but strong performance anyway. He's up quite a few places. Up 7. He's the joint biggest gainer with Toneless. Crossing the line. Good haul points for him, and V-Carb. Spot up. Also quite a few places gained. Not gonna question it. He's gonna cross the line. Another lonely P8, but a great drive. Rusty and Hoop battling to the line. Rusty's gonna have the better of him on the new tires. Hoop, solid P10 on his return. Viper, quiet P11 with a broken front wing. I believe it was Vinny in P12 and Tours and finishing out the finishers. So, very Miami-esque race. DRS trains, big gaps. Here are podium finishers as I celebrate with his off-brand iPhone. So, brand new winner in midweek. Always good to see. Canadian back on top. I'm sure they'll enjoy that. It's been way too many Star Spangled Banners. Americans completing the podium. McLaren Looks like they're going to hang on to the constructors' lead. Maybe even grow it. I'm not sure how the point system works. So race winner T-Stiggy, fastest lap from Gord Softs on the mediums. Interesting. Nobody on the softs could manage to take it. JD gets driver of the day. Rusty has the most overtakes, and the cleanest driver is Toneless Death. We already went through that. Gonna quickly grab this for anyone. Perfect. So once again, T-Stiggy, Gibbies, Airborne Tiger, Gourd Sauce, Andy, Toneless, JD, Spot Up Triples, Rusty, Hoop, Ghost Viper, Vinny, Taurus, Kobe, Pixel Knight, Ace, Nico, and kind of myself. Alright, that's it for midweek. The next race is Canada, Champions Pick from Gourd Sauce. So home race, maybe fueling him to his first midweek podium. And that is it for me. I don't think I'll commentate next week. It was definitely an experience. Yeah,